Hey, kids, it's time for another exciting episode of KWJUDAS.
Soldiers are saints and the saints are sinners, 'cause beginners aren't aware of what he can do. They've taken your name and they've given you a number. Now the blunder's on the mother who gave birth to you. Rides in the colors of the heavens of war, 'cause the blood dollar dimes ain't gonna make themselves. So well, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. It's in the name of freedom, so it can't be wrong. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all march to a dead man's song. Die for the red tie, the orange-faced wretch takes the time to win, he'll blow us all to kingdom come. Your shackled sense of a dead man for the future would be really funny if it weren't so true. The bagman's come and trade your witness for a martyr. The payment on your mortgage for death is due. Wow, well, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. It's in the name of freedom, so it can't be wrong. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all march to a dead man's song. The sociopath laughs to the rhythm of an aptitude. Let's impeach him up to gag the press on the truth. There's nothing like a war to distract us from the reason and the treason of the intellect effective root. Capital crooks cook the books for the sadists who buy up the promise and the sale on souls. You'll keep the door locked and your finger on the trigger, 'cause you can't really love that which you have to fear. Keep them in line to the ticking of a time bomb. Fear is the power, the bloodlust crave. So well, praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. It's in the name of freedom, so it can't be wrong. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all march to a dead man's song. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. It's in the name of freedom, so it can't be wrong. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all march to a dead man's song. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. It's in the name of freedom, so it can't be wrong. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all march to a dead man's song. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. It's in the name of freedom, so it can't be wrong. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition, and we'll all march to a dead man's song.
Jeffery Dallet here on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio. I am still getting used to that title, Gumption City Radio. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. Where are you from, son?
I'm from the great mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. That's where I'm from.
Great Mile High.
Yeah.
Mile High City.
Mile High.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Well, it's the city is exactly a mile high right there at the state capitol, but it also can be a high because, Colorado is one of the first states to legalize weed. So, all these dudes from the Midwest are moving out there like, oh, yeah, man, let's go smoke weed in Denver. And then...
So that's what they thought it meant.
Yeah, mile high, man. Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with getting laid in an airplane.
I don't know.
No?
I guess that's the Mile High Club.
Okay, so if you live in Denver, you're just automatically in
the
Mile High Club.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Damn, you don't have to fuck in an airplane. You're just in.
No, you just do it on the steps of the state capitol, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
One more reason to move there, and one more reason the city just keeps growing.
Exactly.
At such a massive rate, does it not? I mean, Colorado is like fucking everybody's. Well, they were moving there because of the weed.
Yeah. Well, now people are moving. Well, people are moving there because of the the mountains and the climbing, and the bikes, and
Nobody moved there because of that before the weed.
Well, the weed is what set off the latest boom. And
Word.
I had an apartment for 12 years there, and when I started, the apartment was pretty affordable, and I just got priced out of my apartment. So you're moving out of Denver? Well, I don't know. We'll see. But
But you're still there now.
I'm still there
for
now. For now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you've been there most of your life?
I did. I grew up there, and then I moved to California because I thought I wanted to be an actor. So I was doing like these.
What happened with that?
Well, I got a couple of auditions.
Cool.
But I never really got any roles or anything, and I ran out of money too because so I was out there for a while. I was out there on and off for about 5 years.
Really?
And then I moved back home to Denver. And I've always played music. I've always done it. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to start pursuing this thing a little more seriously. So then I did.
So how long have you been pursuing the music over the acting thing?
Probably since 2010.
Word. So it's been quite some time.
Oh
then.
yeah, I've been doing it a while. Yeah.
And no more acting since you did the music.
No. Well, actually, it's
or
funny.
Are you still kind of seeing what you can?
Yeah, I write and record these small like little kind of scenes,
Cool.
and it's called L.A. Times, and it's about a singer-songwriter who's in the L.A. music scene. And so I write these scenes, and I've done like 6 episodes, and so I act in those. But one of my friends,
where do you post them?
YouTube.
Cool.
YouTube, and I actually
we'll have to leave a link down in the. I'd like to check this out.
Yeah.
I've told you about the videos I make,
Yes.
and I like to to share these ideas and whatnot.
Sure.
Maybe we could get you on one of our videos and vice versa.
Hey man,
We'll have to talk more.
I'd love it. I like doing that stuff.
But if anyone wants to check it out, what's your YouTube channel?
Well, my YouTube channel for my L.A. Times movies is Wayne the Pain Movies.
Wayne the Pain Movies. Who's Wayne the Pain?
Well, Wayne the Pain is the name of my first greyhound that I ever had, and that was his racing name.
Okay.
Wayne the Pain. And
you had a racing dog?
Yeah, we had a greyhound. And we didn't race him. He was a retired racer.
Like Santa's little helper.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Word.
Yeah.
Did you get him on Christmas?
Well, we didn't get him on
Aw.
Christmas. We got him in October, so 2 months.
That's
shy
still
of Christmas.
fucking just magical.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is.
Yeah, he was a rescue greyhound, so we got him, and he was about 5 years. No, about 5 years old at the time, and his racing name was Wayne the Pain. So that's why I decided to call my little production company, if you can call it that, Wayne the Pain Movies. So
Word.
yeah,
I dig it. I dig it. What's the name of your main character?
The main character's name is Jesse Stanley.
Anything like how'd you come up with that?
I don't know.
Name?
I don't know
Just
how I came up with that name.
Came to you one day.
Yeah.
That's sort of how a lot of my names come.
Yeah.
Just
I was like, oh, I don't know, and I don't know if it's a real cool name. But his friend, his name is Sonny Bachman, and I don't know where that came from either. But
Word.
Yeah.
Where are they from?
Well, Sonny is from the Valley, so he's from the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
And Jesse is from probably a Midwestern town. I don't have it exactly in my mind where he's from, but probably from the Midwest. He moved out to L.A. to pursue music and to become like a famous singer-songwriter.
L.A. is the setting? Like that's where it's situated?
That's where
Okay.
So, but it doesn't. I don't have a budget, and I play all the parts. So, it's set in the Duke's coffee shop.
and you just pretend it's L.A.?
Exactly.
You could do that.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck it. Who's stopping you?
Yeah.
You don't have to like pay them to film there, do you?
No. And, well, I film in my apartment, so
Okay.
it's in my kitchen.
Oh,
And I
so
try
you
to-
pretend it's the coffee shop
Which
that
is
you're pretending is in L.A.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
love it.
And
I love it.
It's based off my experiences there. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to another song,
Okay.
and we can talk a little bit more about that. But I definitely want to check out your show,
Yeah.
and we'll definitely leave a link in the description below in
Sounds
case
good.
anybody else is interested. What was the name of that last one? It was 45.
45 Song is the name of that. Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's kind of a double meaning actually because I don't know.
I mean, what's 45 all about? It
It has to do with a certain president. Quote.
Okay.
I use that term loosely, but it's also got to do with ammunition and guns.
Okay.
And
so you don't want to say too much.
well, I mean, I don't know.
Sounds like you're going a direction that might be a little incriminating.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to offend anybody. You know what I mean?
Has nothing to do with the 45 for the 45th president.
No,
Nah.
of course not.
No.
No. Or a 45. Whatever. So.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I did not meant.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
Yeah. It's It's just a.
We should play another song before we keep talking about assassinating the president more.
No, that's not what it's about.
Not
It's not
assassinating.
It's not about that. No, it's just about the.
Right.
Yeah.
Not about that.
No.
Wink.
No,
Wink.
it's not about that.
So what's this next song not about?
What is the next song that's in the queue? Actually.
Well, Sweet Cindy sounds a little less incriminating.
No, Sweet Cindy's great song.
All
That's,
right. Let's
that's
go with that one.
That's a song about a lovely young lady named Cindy. So. Yeah.
Sounds lovely and sweet.
It is. It is.
Not like assassinating the president.
That's funny. You're the first person to ever bring that up to me. Actually. That's funny.
You brought it up. What the fuck?
No.
Sweet fucking Cindy here on KWJUDAS by Jeffery Dallet on Gumption City Radio. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
That's 'cause she is a mental case. Vietnam Cindy is a mental case. A drag strip mama with an angel for a face. I laugh it all up, I'm a complete disgrace. That's 'cause she is a mental case. That's 'cause she is a mental case. Spider with claws on across her back. Mouth like an outhouse and the whip should crack. To keep a dude in line, his face you'll have to smack. That's 'cause she is a mental case. That's 'cause she is a mental case. Oh, send for the cops if I don't come back. I like to say I hate it, but I like it like that. inside the loony bin gates. White robes, electro strategically placed. That's 'cause we are both a mental case. That's 'cause we are both a mental case. Oh, oh, I'm now in a jacket that they call straight. Oh, oh, visiting hours are from 6 to 8. Visiting hours are from 6 to 8. Someday I will swim inside your eyes, and I'll be the object of your desire. Dance inside your open heart, looking for each day to start a love anew with a kiss upon your eye. Someday you will look at me that way, and I'll have all the right words to say. We'll talk on into the night, drinking the glow of the moonlight till the sky reflects the sunrise in your eyes. Someday I will sleep right by your side, your breathing and your dreams in time with mine. Your soft scent will fill the air, the chambers of our heart, to share a golden bond of love within our soul. Until that day I'll be a fool, dreaming on just like I do, until all these foolish dreams come true.
Marvelous.
It's good to have Fop Guy in the studio tonight. We actually have a full house tonight. We got the Wizard. Fop.
Yeah.
Chris McDowell is going to be joining us later tonight. And, of course, our on-tour guest, clear from Denver, Colorado, Jeffery Dallet. And until just like last night, I've been saying your name wrong, but I'm not going to do it on the air.
Awesome.
God damn it. Don't call this guy Jeffery Dallet unless you're a dumbass.
Yeah. Unless you want to get punched. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, and it took for me to, I learned the wrong way. I got clocked in the fucking jaw, and I'm just like, damn, this dude, he means business.
Yeah, you don't mess around, you know.
Not with a guy from Denver, nah.
No.
Those guys are serious.
Oh, boy. Serious about our names.
The streets. And shit.
Yeah, the hard streets of Littleton, Colorado. Ooh.
Have you had any, like, I guess, run-ins on the streets just while you've been out? Any sticky situations you've gotten yourself into?
Actually, this is funny. So one time I was playing this songwriter night. I went to this songwriter night every Wednesday night at this place called Bender's Tavern. And I'm up there playing my songs and everything, and there's a surly-looking fellow in the corner, and he's kind of got his arms crossed like this, and he's kind of got this dour look on his face, and I'm like, man.
You're using some great adjectives, by the way.
Thanks.
Surly, dour.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
All right, yeah. So I'm a little perplexed at this point, and I'm playing, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, this guy does not seem too happy. So I get done playing, and the night goes on, and then people are filing out of the bar, and it's about 1:30 now, and bar closes at 2. And the guy comes up to me, and he's really drunk, and he's staggering around. He's like, "Listen to me, you little son of a bitch!" And I'm like, "Oh God, what's he gonna do?" And
you knew this was coming from a mile away.
And he goes, "Listen, man, you sound like Bob Dylan, dude." and if you keep sounding like him, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, oh my god. And then he didn't stop there, and he kept going. And he's like, listen, man, you might be the best I've ever seen, but I'm still going to kick your ass, man, because you sound like Bob Dylan, dude. Don't be ripping off that guy, man. And he wanted to fight me, literally. And I'm like, jeez, man. He scared the hell out of me.
That is the most backhanded compliment
it was really weird.
I've ever heard.
It was really weird, yeah. And then that's not the only time this happened. That happened then. And then, like, a couple weeks go by, and I'm out in front of the 7-Eleven that's close to my house on this main street drag called Broadway that's back in Denver. And he staggers around the corner from the 7-Eleven and proceeds to do the same exact thing.
Same guy?
Same guy and same thing. And he's just verbally
He's
accosting
shitting me.
And he's yelling. And then there's a dude over there in the parking lot, and he reaches out, he looks out of his window and goes, easy, 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 because the guy's coming toward me. And I didn't know if he was going to lay me out or whatever, but so that was the second time that happened. He did that to me. Yeah. So if that kind of counts, I guess. He came.
Oh, that does.
Yeah.
That's
he was
it's gangsta.
Actually, yeah, and he was and he'll admit it. I've talked to him since then, but he admitted he was a drunk, and he's since cleaned himself up. He's since
cool.
apologized.
So you guys are cool.
And so we're cool.
It's very
yeah.
rare that you actually get to like make amends.
No, he really did. He really did a 180. He owned that, and the funny thing is, he owned that bar that I was playing.
No
at.
way.
Honestly, he was the owner of that bar.
There's the twist,
Yeah.
folks.
Great story.
Yeah, and he was gonna kick my ass because I sounded like Bob Dylan. So,
Man,
yeah.
That's funny. Like a guy that owns the whole place.
Yeah, he was the owner of that bar. He was.
It's like you can't really do anything. You're like,
no. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of worked for a dude like that who was cool as fuck, but even when he was drunk, even when he was complimenting you, it was scary.
Right.
And this dude was like Peter Steele, dude from Typo Negative, just a big Viking, towering. I mean, he looked like the fucking Undertaker, like the wrestler, and he did professional wrestling too.
Wow, he's huge.
And he was a nice guy. He was one of the coolest bosses. But he would come off if you didn't know him, and he was drunk, and he was just saying, "You're a fucking good drummer." You would still think he wanted to kill you.
Oh yeah. That's how this guy was. He had an angry look about him. He had this angry energy, man, and he was just on the verge of snapping. It looked like, and he snapped at me. That's for sure. So.
But then he, turned out to be a nice dude.
I don't think he drinks anymore. He literally did a 180. He said he's cleaned himself up, and he really did apologize, which I thought was really cool of him to do. So
that is,
yeah.
Because as I say, that's rare. When you get heckled by a guy at a bar, and
Right.
for one to ever even see him again, for two to see him again and he's giving you
and
more
he did
shit.
He did it the second time.
For three to have him come back around and be cool later.
Yeah.
For four, turns out he was the bar
He was
owner.
He was the owner of that bar. Yeah.
Never knew.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, did you know that before, or did you just find out after he cleaned up?
Yeah, I didn't know he was the owner. I knew he worked. I thought he worked there. I didn't know he was the owner.
Okay.
But Randy, who was the guy who ran the songwriter night, was the bartender. He's like, "Yeah, man, he's the owner, man." And I'm like, "No way, seriously." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, just don't take it personally, man." I'm like, "Well, I kind of take it personally. The guy wanted to fight me,
But it's because you were so good.
I guess. I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
You sounded way too much like someone he loved.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Some people just, they have a hard time expressing their emotions, especially when it's a positive one. And the only way they know how to do that is still through an aggressive and seemingly violent nature.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's like, "I love you," it's like, "I love you so much, I'd fucking kick the shit out of you."
Yeah, exactly, man.
I'd kill for you. I'd kill myself for you. I'd kill you
I'd punch your
for
face.
you.
Yeah.
I just fucking love you so much.
Yeah.
I'll kick your ass if you don't stop being you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
That,
boy.
that to me says that he loves you.
Well, yeah. I think he thought I was good at what I did, but
Right. That's all he's trying to say.
well, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll just.
I mean, he apologized later.
He did. He
and I'm
really
pretty
did.
sure that's
Yeah.
all he meant was you sound a lot like that one guy, and
Yeah.
keep it up, bro.
Right. Well, In
Dude
a way,
just needs a translator.
Yeah. In a way, I appreciate the compliment. How about that? I'll say that. Yeah.
Bob Dylan, you know, or maybe he was saying, "I fucking hate Bob Dylan."
Oh, yeah, maybe he's like,
motherfucker.
your
We
voice
don't.
is
Last
terrible,
thing we
man."
need is another goddamn Bob Dylan impersonator, and he just goes all the time.
Yeah.
Which you don't do. So
No, I don't think
I'd
I
be
do.
offended that he compared me to Bob Dylan. I'd be like, I don't go all the time. Fuck off, bar owner.
Yeah.
Don't ever compare me to fucking Bob Dylan.
Ooh.
Let's play another song.
Let's do it.
Maybe one that sounds less like Bob fucking Dylan,
Yeah. How about
just to prove this guy wrong.
Well, actually, it's funny because he did say that, and I went home and I did this thing. I was like, I'm going to write the most Bob Dylan song sounding ever.
Nice.
And then the next week, I played it there at the thing. So,
Just to
Yeah,
see if
just
you
to see.
really will kick my ass.
yeah, right, exactly.
I knew you were full of shit. All right, let's hear this not Bob Dylan sounding little ditty. That last one was pretty good. A little too Bob Dylan-y for me, though. How about we got Dear Dayton here? I don't know. Is that sound? There's two D's in it.
Dear Dayton, Ohio.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dayton?
Maybe we shouldn't play that one.
Well, we can play whatever you would like to play.
I like the name Glitter and Gore.
Ooh, let's play that one.
Yeah.
That's definitely not a Bob Dylan sounding song.
Glitter and Gore is just a good name for a song. I didn't even care what the fuck it sounds like. Glitter and Gore here by Jeffery Dallet here on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio.
Come take me. I'll strip your grace and you can christen my face with your blood moon nails and your lipstick dress. Conquer me in your witch's blue fortress. There's no one like you, and you ain't that good.
And now, a wizard's useless fact.
So, believe it or not, the Romans once used mouse brains for toothpaste. Powdered mouse brains.
Mouse brains?
Mouse brains.
Rodents?
For toothpaste. Yeah. Yeah, that's how they brushed their teeth.
Jeez, I could have used that because I forgot my toothbrush and my toothbrush when I left.
There you have it.
Oh, Judas, what did you do? You plugged it in, now they all have knives out for you. It's funny how the old road paid all the rules that you were meant to break. Well, I was but a speck in 65, the year they say old folk music died, but the times have changed and they saw another side of you. You brought it all home down 61 with svelte-built words that had never been done, but the young folk just acted like the old folk with their fear of change. See, what's old is safe and what's safe gets old, so give birth to something brash and bold. Them, we ain't gonna do what we're told. Rage Against the Machine taught me that. Now I ain't saying that's what you were saying, but I'm saying what I'm playing is a direct result of what you pioneered long ago. Now you loved Woody and I love Bobby, so let me extend this little ditty. Hey Bobby Dylan, I wrote you a song. Oh Judas, what did you do? You plugged it in, now they all have knives out for you. It's funny how the old road paid all the rules that you were meant to break. I seen a shooting star tonight, I knew it was you, it had to be. It was tangled up in blue and it gave me quite a shelter from the storm. Now blood on the tracks was quite the act, but it's hard to see when you react how it was so nice for us, but so much pain for you. I was knocked out loaded down in the groove, but modern times saved me from doom. Now I'm walking the path that you have paved. Oh, let it be written that with you I'm smitten, and the gift to all that you have given keeps my mind alive and churning out the line. We all need a shot of love, and we were saved from the man above, but now it's just time out of mind. I'd love to say thanks to your careworn face for the light-inspired amazing grace, but it's been said you should never meet your heroes, you'll be disappointed. So I'll just be another overtime to say to you just one more time, there's you, Bobby, and everyone else. Oh, Judas, what did you do? You plugged it in, now they all have knives out for you. It's funny how the old road paid all the rules that you were meant to break. Oh, Judas, what did you do? The bottom line is, Bobby, we all just want to be as good as you.
Jeffery Dallet here on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. Now, weren't you saying something earlier today about a certain experience that you had out in the wilderness?
Oh, jeez. Yes. Yeah. One time.
Like a spooky
It was
story.
spooky. It really was. Yeah. So I was out. I think this was in eastern Ohio, and middle of nowhere. It's like kind of raining outside, and it's dark. It's like probably 11:30 at night.
Okay.
And I'm out there, and I'm
And
driving.
you're on tour?
Yes.
All
I'm like
right.
And these headlights come up. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna, because I don't. This is a disclosure too. I don't drive very fast. I'm a pretty slow driver. So if it's 75, I'm going 70. If it's 65, I'm going 60. No, but
You're a bastard.
Yeah, basically. And I drive in the left lane. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
You
But
keep your left signal on for like blocks and blocks at a time without turning.
exactly.
Where you blare Kenny Chesney louder than everybody else can
Kenny
fucking.
Chesney.
No, I'm kidding. Keep going.
No. Okay, so these headlights, and I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna pass me, and he doesn't. He kind of sits there on my tail, and I'm like, okay, all right, fine, whatever. So I keep going, and I'm like, this guy, why doesn't this guy pass me? And he's kind of close, And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna do the ultimate. I'm gonna slow down, and then he'll pass me. So I slow down. I slow down to like 45 miles an hour, and this guy's still back there. And we're still in the middle of nowhere, and it's raining, and I can't tell what kind of car it is and everything. And so we're still going down the highway, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's following me.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, so I just keep going. I speed up a little bit. He speeds up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get over into the left lane. I get over into the left lane. He gets over into the left lane with me. I get over to the right lane. He gets back over. I'm like, damn it. So this happened for like 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh, geez. And so finally, a truck stop comes up, and you can kind of see the lights coming over the hill. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get off here and see if he follows me. So I go, and I turn on my turn signal. He turns on his turn signal. We get off. He gets off, and he follows me, and I'm like, jeez, is this guy going to, like, get out and, like, shoot me or something? I don't know.
It was the club owner, right?
Yeah, he was following me. It was him. No, but I got off. And
Was it really?
No, it wasn't. No. That would have been an amazing story, actually.
Fuck yeah.
But
Okay.
but I get off, and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to turn. So I turn, and then you know how sometimes when you get off the highway, you turn and you go back over the highway. So I went back over the highway, and I went down into the fuel island where the pumps are, and then the guy stops up at the top of the hill before going in, and I'm looking at it, and it's this brown pickup truck. And I'm like, and he just sits there. And I'm at the fuel island, and I don't get out of the car because I don't want him to see what I look like. So I'm just sitting there at the fuel island. I'm looking out there, and he sits there for like 5 minutes, and then he turns around and drives away. And I was like,
Wow.
that was really bizarre. And I don't know who the heck that was. I don't know why he was following me. It was just bizarre. It freaked me the hell out, man. I'm telling you. And so I stayed there for like 45 minutes and then took off.
Yeah.
But I was the whole time, I'm like, looking around to see if the guy was going to come back or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But, that's how those true crime stories start, Those
really is.
It was 40.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy. Oh, man. It scared the crap out of me.
How recently was that?
This was probably a couple years ago.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's still pretty fucking scary.
It was, man. That's one of my fears. And the other fear is that I'm driving in the middle of nowhere on some 2-lane road, and there's like a body in the middle of the road.
But that hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't. And I got to cross my fingers that doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
I said yet.
Yeah. Yes. No.
I don't mean to jinx you or anything.
No.
But I mean, finding a body, I think it's something that kind of just happens in life sometime or another down the road. And you
guess.
got to be ready for it,
Yeah.
I'm always prepared. Every time I'm fishing, I'm like, okay, a fish or a dead body is going to come out of this water.
Oh, boy. I know, right? Jeez.
And that's thinking optimistically.
Yeah.
Stop making...
Well,
If you're not going to catch a fish, I mean, something cool might as well happen, right?
a dismembered corpse. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what I get from like seeing those shows when I was a kid.
Right.
Is it to you? Maybe it always started with it was 11:45 on a long fucking
Right.
dark road. To me, it always started with couple of kids fishing by a nearby pond.
Oh, boy.
They see what they thought was a white ball. They canoe out there to pick up the ball, and it happened to be a human skull.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So now,
Freaks me out, man.
just
Oh.
every time,
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe there'll be a human skull.
Ugh.
Huh?
Right. Just floating there.
Right. That's always my first thought, and it has been since I was a kid.
Oh, man. Yeah, that stuff. Like, I'd rather be in a city, in a rough neighborhood, than be out in the middle of the woods, like in the middle of nowhere.
In a rough,
Because, well, I don't know. 'cause
prairie
in
area.
in the middle of the nowhere scares
a
me
rough
worse.
no neighborhood
Yeah.
where anybody could have a shotgun aimed
Right.
at you from miles away.
The vast emptiness can
Don't even
definitely
realize
be
you're
overwhelming
trespassing.
if you're out there alone.
Oh, man. It's like the vast wilderness. Like, it just scares me. I don't know. Something about it.
But, like, really, a very vast majority of Utah is, it's just
Yeah.
like flat nothingness
Exactly.
and fenced off shit that, like, I'm not saying you're going to fucking get shot for being on there.
Right.
But if you take a look at Google Maps of Utah, a lot of it's just nothingness.
Yeah.
And I've even gone, since I finally have a car, I go out exploring a little bit more, usually with fishing as like your main intention, but exploring is still a thing. I'm especially looking for abandoned stuff, cemeteries, old things, you know what I mean? And yeah, you'll find yourself maybe crossing a line or two. that
Sure.
you maybe
Into a
should-
pond that somebody might own or something. Or it's on their property or something.
Yeah. Well, fishing and urbexing. Urbexing is just urban exploration.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a sucker for abandoned buildings and shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you want to do that, you go to Detroit. Because there's tons of abandoned buildings in Detroit. They're these hollowed out, giant corpses of buildings. And people go in there, and there's YouTube videos about it. People go
I
up there.
think I've
and
seen a few, actually.
Yeah.
Because I don't just love doing it myself. I'll geek out all night just watching other people's urban
Right.
exploration videos and just be
Yeah.
like, oh, you guys have so much cooler abandoned shit than I do. Some of them, though, they're not as good. I've got a few that are decent, but,
Right.
I'm just getting started. I'm working with what I got here, folks. So
Hey, man.
if
You got
you
it. That's how you have to do it. You have to work with what you got,
check out Wendell T. Wallaby's Urbex, and you'll see what I got. One of the most consistent things being our Camp Jeremiah saga, which any consistent listeners are at least slightly familiar with.
Right.
Once we start talking about creepy shit, it always gets brought up because it's a creepy place, and there are a lot of people that can attest to it.
Really?
It's another thing for all you listeners out there who haven't. Look up Camp Jeremiah Johnson series.
Jeremiah Johnson, he was the guy that went out into the wilderness and lived out there, right?
He was a mountain man,
Oh, a mountain man. Okay.
and he had a vendetta against Crow Indian specifically.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because supposedly they killed his wife, and
see.
so he was known for killing Crow Indians and eating their livers
Whoa.
to, according to their own religion, kept them from entering the spirit world. So he was that
way.
fucking
Wow.
vindictive
He's, like, evil.
against these people that killed his wife.
Yeah.
That he doesn't just want to kill them, he wanted to keep them from going to the spirit world.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty malicious shit. And this camp, I don't know if it was specifically named after him, but same name.
Yeah.
And if you look up Jeremiah Johnson, you'll find Jeremiah Liver Eating Johnson.
Jeez.
That was part of his name.
Wow.
And I did find one thing. I can't remember where it was, but there was an article that said Jeremiah Liver Eating Johnson, not to be confused with Jeremiah, and it was some type of food, like a Fig Newton. It was like Jeremiah Fig Newton loving Johnson.
Jeez.
That's something I can never get into is Fig Newtons.
Yeah, fuck Fig Newtons.
Oh,
They're fucking disgusting.
Oh, man.
Let's hang out with Jeremiah Liver Eating Johnson.
Instead of the Fig Newton. Well, I
At least
remember.
he's on a much more, I guess, fucking diet that I can get behind.
Well, I
protein
heard,
based.
when I was a little kid, I heard that someone found a worm in their Fig Newton, and it was like this big thing. So I was like, I'm never eating Fig Newtons ever
Oh,
again.
that's fucking gross.
Yeah.
A worm in a liver I could deal with. Maybe we should play another song.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jeffery Dallet here on KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio. Thank you all for being with us tonight.
I am the mind slave, princed upon I do behave by the rules of which the laws have been paid. Through my veins run the grains of the trick and truth of trade that slip through the holes of promises made. The raven shall speak to nourish the glib yet weak prince of time, whose ears bleed to hear her say, you can come get it on with me, or you can sit there and wait like a fool. The sands of time spill at the pace of broken rules, and to make you keep up is just too cruel. The part you hate in me is you. Now the cage in which you live is the price to not forgive that sin-filled sieve which leaks upon her crib, that holds the bulge of her breast, left for you to touch in jest, as she'll keep you in her cell without walls. She'll let you in her eyes, smitten by her golden thighs, as the tension tames the screams that wail and say, you can come get it on with me, or you can sit there and wait like a fool. The sands of time spill at the pace of broken rules, and to make you keep up is just too cruel. The part you hate in me is you. For what you ask you don't receive, for what you don't care comes easy. Still she lives her lies to pretend she is free. I'm forced to go alone, but still her heart I call my home. But it's up for sale and someone else is living there. Your selfless heart's nothing you'll share. Just like a weed, choking my dire need that seethes and bleeds. Lit upon her path, her subjects fan my flaming wrath that sears the tears that never will run dry. She's used me for her muse, left in vain to be abused by the blues she took and the remains she left to say. The sands of time spill at the pace of broken rules, and to make you keep up is just too cruel. The China heart I love is you. The China heart I love is you.
That was a kick-ass song here from Jeffery Dallet. We are coming close to the end of our show. We still got another song or two, and we still got our cartoon that we're going to get into.
Cool.
So we're not going to waste too much more time talking about ridiculous nonsense like people following us in cars and wanting to kick our ass. And why does everyone want to kick your ass?
I don't know. I maybe I have a punchable face or something. I don't know.
You kind of do.
Punch in the throat.
I mean, right when you came in, I was like, you look like you're from Utah, not fucking Colorado. All clean shaved and shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then when you said you'd been here before, I'm like, yeah, you ever considered moving here?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever read our book?
I haven't. No. I dated a girl once who was really into your book, and she broke up with me because I wasn't into the book.
The book,
so to
yeah.
speak. Yeah.
It's a good read, man. It's all about war and killing and adultery, all sorts of fucked up shit. Nothing good happens in it. Really, I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, the whole thing ends with, like, death.
Jeez.
There's just so much death.
Man.
And
Phenomenal
fucking
amount.
adultery
Of
and
violence
rape
and
and betrayal
adultery
and
and sex
poisoning
and-
and war, all
Yikes.
that shit.
Yeah.
It's just like the Bible.
Yeah.
It was written in the same,
the same vein or whatever.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Wow.
The story is basically the Bible in the U.S. It's what was
See,
going on in the U.S.
that's what
while all the shit was going on in Europe. That's
That's
what they claim.
Wow. That's what she told me. She's like, well, basically, it's
In North America, not the
Jesus
U.S.
was here in the U.S. or North America. That's what she
Right.
said. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, the Americas,
The
I should say.
Oh, okay.
Because the stories do kind of stretch from territories, you know what
Okay.
I mean? Like their
Yeah.
claims, at least. Like they claim that the Native Americans and the South Americans are, in their book, what they call Lamanites. And I don't really want to get too much into it because I don't want our viewers to get too many ideas that are inaccurate
Right.
or that say I believe in this stuff or I condone it. But yeah, and I'm not trying to say go out and read it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm probably not gonna. There's enough death and destruction in the world
Well,
here today. So
You already had a girlfriend try and plug it pretty hard anyway and
Well, she
break up
did.
with you for not
She did. Yeah.
so, being into it. So I
Yeah.
think you
No.
don't need that plug in
No.
here.
But back to what you're saying about my face. It's funny. I drove.
I didn't mean it.
No. But I drove I drove a semi truck for a year and 3 months. That was one of my jobs I had. in the
Okay.
past. I know. And the instructor, who was the instructor at the driving school, her name was Ruby, and she talked like this. And she is everything you'd think a female older trucker would look like: leather skin, white hair.
Large Marge.
Well, which kind of. And she called me Opie. That's what she called me. She goes, hey, you, Opie, you're next.
You got to be Opie.
I did. Yeah. So.
I don't know. I think that's kind of a term of endearment. I think that means she likes you. Not in like a sexual way.
Right.
She thinks you're cute. Not in a sexual way.
Sure.
I don't know if a chick like that thinks anything is cute.
I don't know. She had some stories, though, man. I was like, so when you're driving a semi, you have to double clutch. So you have to bring up the RPM, and then you have to clutch in, and then double clutch, and then when you clutch in, you have to rev it to get it up again, and then you put the the gear shifter in, and she's like, "You gotta get it up before you can get it in. Most guys can relate to that." And I'm like, "Oh God, okay." She was like, I mean, she was. Yeah, she was like
I think we got a character for you.
You have a new character.
The
truck driver.
Ruby. Yeah. Smoked like a chimney, man. Just yeah.
Figures.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Let's get into our next cartoon then, without further ado, speaking of which, and other things that people say before they do stuff. Hey, kid!
Oh, hey, Derpishly guy.
Oh, what's the matter, my contorted companion?
Oh, gosh, Derpishly guy. It's just all this brine shrimp, you know. It just keeps getting stuck in my fanny, and well, you know.
Not so sure, kid. Elaborate.
You know, Derpishly guy, all the fanny floss on the market here is caffeinated.
Well, freak no more out, young twat glob. Derpinsley's always had decaffeinated fanny floss from the get-go. It's just no one else ever wanted it outside the state of Utah.
Makes sense.
Derpinsley's decaffeinated fanny floss. And remember, if it doesn't say Derpin, it's not Derpinsley. Man, wasn't that one hell of a cartoon, guys?
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was great.
What they won't do.
I know, right? We have no idea what just happened.
No, not really.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
So before we let you guys go, we're going to play another song or two. And where do we find your music?
Well, you can find my music on Spotify, on YouTube Music. You can find it on Bandcamp as well.
Well, everyone says that. But, like, how do we do that?
Okay, so you search for DalletBand, DALLET Band, or Jeffery Dallet Band.
So you had a band before you did solo stuff,
Yes.
correct?
Well, actually, I was a solo artist, and then I had a band, and now I'm
Okay.
a solo artist again because my band left me.
So was it just a band that, like, would play your stuff
Yeah.
still under your name? Or
Yeah.
was it, like, Psychroptic Reaction or, I don't know?
No, it was just called DalletBand, and it was basically my songs, and we had a bass player, a guitar player, and a lead guitar player, and a drummer. And then
Word.
occasionally we'd have a keyboard player too, but yeah.
So that's kind of what we've been hearing in a lot of these recordings then.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
I noticed you got accompaniment and
Yep,
stuff
Yeah.
in
yeah.
a lot of it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It's weird because the first recordings on the first album is kind of a amalgamation of people.
Word.
And then
So they're not even like your band
No,
band?
no,
They're just
no.
kind of guest musicians?
Yeah. But
Word.
the next two albums are the band.
So how many albums do you have altogether?
There's 3 albums. There's
Okay.
one called Abnormal Oddities, which is the first one. There's the second one, which is called Electric Judas.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You
And-
should leave
You have
that
an
one.
album,
I,
Judas?
I mean, come on, man. Leave me a copy. I still
can.
collect CDs, tapes, 8 tracks, all that.
Oh,
and
I
we'll
can-
put it in the rotation.
Yeah, I'll give it. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
So any music that you hear tonight, you can not only check out on his website, but we'll also have it in our rotation
Cool.
and whatever music you leave with me.
Yeah.
So people can just like go to our website. The Gumption City Radio website is running 24/7.
Yeah,
Cool.
that radio never
And-
shuts down. You can listen to it anytime.
Well,
Nice.
I can't say that because there's always technical difficulty. If the power goes out in my fucking room, well, there goes there goes the radio station.
Yeah, right.
But we do try and keep it on, running 24/7.
Nice.
And you could even go in there and look up your own music.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know, well, I mean, once I put it in there.
Sure.
And your fans, anybody who wants to, can check it out.
Awesome.
And there's just all sorts of different music of all sorts of different genres.
That's
Can't
great.
you actually pick what is going to play next if you go there?
I can, because
So,
I'm in
That
charge.
used to be an option. Is that still a thing? That's what I was asking.
I don't know if we have got that function. We had to
Any longer.
redo the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
okay.
guy who started it is no longer involved.
Ah.
And it was a real complicated process that, like, just happened.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I might have explained to you some
Yeah,
of this.
you were talking
how
about
it
it,
used to be Free Radio Provo and no longer is, for reasons that we don't need to get into right now,
Sure.
because we've already kind of talked about it here on this show. And what's done is done.
Right. Right.
Moving along.
Cool.
Gumption City Radio sounds way cooler.
I like it. I like being here in Gumption City. It's fun.
It's a weird place.
It's strange, but
Even weirder people.
But yeah, you at least made it past the troglodytes. Most
Yeah,
people don't make it past the troglodytes,
No.
and that's what keeps the population very low here in Gumption City. Is like the residents don't even realize that they are surrounded by these like half people that sort of attack anything and ambush anything that goes in or out. So
Yeah. I did make
tough place to visit.
Right. Well, I made it in okay. Hopefully, I'll make it out okay. So
Good luck.
yeah. Oof.
We'll give you our Derp and Schlees armored tank and send you off with a bag of peanut shells. That usually gets people on their way.
You might be able to bribe a troglodyte or two with some peanut shells.
We're sort of starting to learn their language, and I hear that they actually have a troglodyte band. So might get them in here on the show sometime.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Love to hear that. Man.
Anyways, we had 2 songs left, and we're going to let you go, kids. Sorry. KWJUDAS, Gumption City Radio. Jeffery Dallet.
Bust a boom, both are coming soon. You'll call these the good glory days. When the money comes, diversity leaves. The whitewash taints the gray. With $1 million bricks and Delgany bricks, they're all just another sign. They come for the green, they take what they see. Now my town is growing wild, dying. Oh, the secret's out, kiss it goodbye. They're all gonna suck it dry. I've come to plead, you'll take heed that my town is growing wild, dying. Now the meat market street babies cry for what once never was. The South Broadway tunes fade the blues. Business never gets tired of making love to misery. King justice has been fired for keeping the old from the new. Now my town is growing wild, dying. Oh, the secret's out, kiss it goodbye. They're all gonna suck it dry. I've come to plead, you'll take heed that my town is growing wild, dying. Oh, you live to have a rich, the joke of poverty's wage. Stewing in the brew of world's order new with a sigh of restless rage. their sister toys, recap the clouds of childhood joy, 'cause there's no such thing as a forest there anymore. Salem saints have been defaced, and the Siebenthaler Hawks have been erased, 'cause progress means leaving them all behind. So take your caddy to the boarded eye of old 130 Mawson Drive. The body's there, but the soul left long ago. Linger to the ghost of frigid air, suffered same fate as the meat book squares. The engineer says, kid, you got a lot to learn about being an American. So rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Someday to you, your debts will be repaid. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. From the ashes will your glory be reclaimed. Riverdale freezes in the ice-stained night and crumbles to the ground as Colonel White, 'cause they ain't been born no rich man's son. Main Street Highway 48 rots and slides into decay as violence knocks hard on poverty's door. Claim to fame to the birth of flight, all hail the protection of Patterson Wright. What's all wrong, please soon make right. Flyers bring life to town, as do the spawn of E.J. Brown. Oh, they're getting harder and harder to spot these days. So rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Someday to you, your debts will be repaid. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. From the ashes will your glory be reclaimed. Expense of the poor who will die slow at the hand of the good old American way. While the Wall Street pimps will slap the grins off the Main Street whores who reap the sins of the drop in price that makes it easier to sell your soul. By depression you mean it's the little man's problem. Sam will keep the corpse of Main Hardware's once strong force that helped them build what they now destroy. Man at odds with forgotten jobs and the promise once held by the high and slobs who say, yeah, that trickle down will take effect soon enough. Miami Valley will keep its tally on the Rust Belt slaves who soon will rally to occupy what has been taken from them. Dayton Town riches to rags be killed, to take no part of heaven and no part of hell, just to sleep and dream when everything went well. So rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Someday to you, your debts will be repaid. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. From the ashes will your glory be reclaimed. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Someday to you, your debts will be repaid. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. Rust in peace, Dayton Town. From the ashes will your glory be reclaimed.
We'd like to thank you all for joining us once again on another exciting and exclusive episode of KWJUDAS on Gumption City Radio. We now turn you back to our regular Gumption City programming.